Greetings of the day. Let us all start the first topic in Spring Boot series, which is installation of Spring Tool Suite in Eclipse IDE. Why we are installing this STS in the Eclipse, in the sense we need to create projects, Spring Boot projects. We call it as Spring Starter projects. There are many ways to create Spring Boot projects. We'll talk about them at the end of this session. So let us all complete this step. So you ensure that you have your IDE called as Eclipse IDE Integrated Development Environment in your laptop or desktop. So before going to proceed with that, let me just create a separate folder called as Spring Boot Workspace, so that all my future projects will be created in this folder only. Okay, now let me open my Eclipse now. My Eclipse version is 2024-06. Browse. Let me just go to my new folder, Spring Boot Workspace. Launch. The minimum version you need to install Eclipse IDE is like JDK 21. So this is complete new workspace. There are no projects, and there are no even servers also in this workspace. So nothing is there. It's just completely empty. Now let me start with installation. Go to help, go to Eclipse Marketplace, where you can install any kind of plugin. So this Spring Tool Suite plugin also will be available in this Eclipse Marketplace only. So let us all type Spring Tool Suite. In short, we call it as STS. First one. It will list out all the features to be installed. Some will be unchecked and some will be checked. So the first two and the last one is required, and these two are unchecked. So let me check it, so that the one I just selected useful for your microservices. So that's why I selected everything. Click on confirm. Click on confirm. It's just calculating all the requirements, all the dependencies and all. So the next window will be, it will ask you the agreement, the user agreement, I accept or reject. Right. I accept. Some people, if they accept this agreement before, so they will get this screen as a blank screen. So you don't need to worry about that. You can just go to next step. Okay, finish. Now, so now the software is getting installed. Now it is 13%. Right. So don't interrupt this process. Ensure that this software is completely installed, and you just need to have a stable internet connection throughout this process. Otherwise, you'll get error stating that unable to download. Kind of a dialog box you're going to appear. Make sure you have a stable internet connection before going to proceed with this step. Spring Tool Suite installation in the Eclipse IDE. I just want to highlight 3 to 4 points. Meanwhile, let this installation being completed. Uh, I just want to highlight one point, that Spring Boot is basically a Spring framework only, and I can say Spring Boot is the top of the Spring framework architecture. That is the point. First point. So it is asking me to select all the things. So select all. This window will be different for different people. So don't think that the same window will be appear in your case also. Always trust all authorities. Yes, I accept the risk. That means there are some plugins will be downloaded from other websites. That's why it is taking our confirmation to trust or not trust. So select everything. So select all. If it is one or two, select all. Always trust. So trust is selected. Okay. So the installation will be completed. Spring Boot is the top of the Spring Framework architecture. That means Spring architecture contains a core module, web module, ORM module, JDBC module, AOP module. There are different types of modules in different layers. The top layer is called as what? Spring Boot framework. So don't think that Spring Boot and Spring is different. Spring Boot is part of Spring only. And the next point is it removes it is uh, it removes lot of configuration and dependencies. That's why we call it as auto configuration and auto dependencies. That means you no need to add you no need to manually add the dependencies in format XML from external sources. Automatically while creating projects itself, you can add the dependencies. We call it as status. And third one is embedded web server. In Spring Boot, we have a one best feature is embedded web server. You no need to separately or manually add the server like Tomcat or whatever the server you need, Glassfish. The Tomcat server will be embedded in the Spring Boot project itself. These are the main important points, right? So let's just check. So it is just asking me to restart the Eclipse. Let me do that. And the next point is Spring Boot 3.3.3 version released on August 22nd 2024, and the latest version just 3 days back only, 3.3.4, which is on September 19th and 2024. And I could say like 3.3.5 and 3.4 also, it is just the updations are going on, but don't consider them because there are not stable versions. So whenever it is stable version only, we need to consider that. Okay, 3.3.4 is the which is latest and a stable version in the Spring Boot framework, right? Now my Eclipse is got restarted. So let me open in the same folder which is Spring Boot. Now what I'll do is like I'll show you a simple Spring Boot project, the creation. Okay. Now, so see, I didn't add any server as of now. So now go to file, go to new, choose other, and in the search bar type Spring starter project. As I said before, while creating project, the type of the project will be Spring starter project. Starter means dependency, right? All the dependencies will be coming from the service URL called as start.spring.io. So start.spring.io is called as Spring Initializer. I'll tell you what exactly start.spring.io, which is called as Spring Initializer. We'll talk about that after the creation of first project. This is called as what? Spring Initializer. And now the next step will be different types of build automation tools. So automation tool is nothing but instead of compiling, testing, building, deploying everything manually, the complete process is like automated process. So there are many tools we have: Maven, Ant, Gradle for the mobile applications like that. So we choose Maven. And then there are two types of packagings. One is jar and next one is var. For the web application, we need to take var. For console application, we need to take jar. And Java version, it should be 21, language Java. And group ID is nothing but company domain name, com.klf.jfs course name, topic, like the one framework we are going to use like Spring Boot. Artifact ID is nothing but the name of the application. So you just consider here, instead of demo, let's consider Spring Boot Hello World application or first project, whatever it is. Spring Boot Hello World project. So whenever you type here, artifact ID will be reflected. So both are same. Name of the application is equal to artifact ID. Next, demo project for Spring Boot. I'm okay with that. Package name com.klf.jfs.springboot. If you in future, if you create models, com.klf.jfs. This is the right approach. Every industry is following like that. So for example, if you take TCS, com.tcs, if you just go for JP Morgan, com.jp Morgan, like that, their company domain name is their base package. Now just click on next, and then we just need to choose the version here. I already told that the latest version is 3.3.4. See, 3.3.5 also available, but the problem is like this is not a like stable version. So the stable version is 3.3.4, and this is the best option for this Springboard. This window is called as adding starter dependency status. Status means dependencies. So as it is a first project, I'm not going to take any specific dependencies, so I'll just randomly choose one or two dependencies. First one, for example, Spring Web. So Spring Web is used for the RESTful web services. This will be a common dependency or starter in every Spring Boot project, right? Like that you can select MySQL, that is MySQL connector. Like that you can take Spring Data JPA. Like there are every dependency, no need to open MBN repository and no need to copy the dependency code in the XML file. Directly you can take it from this like this status window. If anything is missed, you can take from the MBN repository. So I selected only one, Spring Web. Click on next. So all these details will be sent to the start.spring.io as a URL parameters, and the project will be created. A zip file will be downloaded, will be imported in this workspace automatically. Click on finish. Till the creation of the project, we need internet connection. After that, no need actually, because the project will run in the local system only, right? So my project is getting created. Right. You just observe one thing that in Spring Boot project, all the Spring Boot projects will be ended with a word called as boot. That means it's a Spring Boot projects. Think that there are normal projects and the Spring Boot projects. You can identify them by using a boot keyword here. Now, the first and foremost thing we need to do is like, for example, sir, if I just forgot any dependency, like while creating project, can I just add it later? Like, do I need to add in pom.xml or where I need to add? Simple step. Right click on the project. Go to the Spring option. There is a one option called as add status. So whatever the window you got during the project creation, that window will be appear again. Whatever the dependency you missed during the project creation, you can add here. I'll add one important thing called as Spring Boot DevTools. Sir, what is the Spring Boot DevTools? Spring Boot DevTools is something like you no need to restart the server for every modification you do in the project. Automatically it is restarted, right? Like it is like node in the Node.js. So next. If you add the dependency like this after the project creation, it will show you left hand side is before adding, right hand side is after adding. So select all the files and then click on finish. Select all the files and click on finish. Right now, so go to Java resources, src/main/java. One by default package will be created. You just need to open this main file. Okay, we'll talk about servlet installation later. Okay, this is the main file of the Spring Boot application or Spring Starter project, where your execution will be started from this file. How come? Because of this annotation. This annotation is called as Spring Boot application. So this whatever the Java class which contains Spring Boot application, from that file onwards, execution will be started. Okay, and the main class is there, Spring application dot run off. If you observe that this Java class name is same as your project name. So what I'm just going to do is like, as we are not developing a web application in this first project, let's just print a small message. So sysout. Let me just type sysout double quotes Spring Boot, hi Spring Boot. Right, hi Spring Boot. Now, so now what I'll do is like, let me run this project. So right click on this, if you can run entire project, or you can run this simple this single individual file also, because this from this file only execution will be started. And here there is a run method, spring boot application spring application dot run. I'll show you how to implement this run method also separately in the coming sessions. Right click on this run as. No need to choose run on server, and no need to add Tomcat also manually. You can directly choose Spring Boot app. Automatically Tomcat server will be activated. So I just got one a simple error, which is 8080 already in use. That means you know already the Tomcat by default port number is 8080. So what we need to do now? So generally in the normal manual process of Tomcat, you need to change the port numbers, but here you don't need to do that. You directly go to resources file, which we call it as application.properties, which is the heart of the Spring Boot project. Just type server dot port is equal to. So this is an important question. How to add the port number in Spring Boot projects? By using server dot port number. In which file? Application dot properties. It's like a configuration file. Okay, right, is equal to. So I'm just taking 2024. You can give any port number, ensure that that port number is not in use already. Now right click on the project, run as Spring Boot project. Right. So now hi Spring Boot. If you get the message like this in the console, that means the project is running perfectly without any compile errors or syntax errors. You may get any errors at the runtime, but that is separate thing. Make sure you get the message like this, like that ensure that there are no errors. And let me just run it again, for example, because my server is already running. Let me just try to run again. So it surely, no, I need to choose run as Spring Boot app. You will get an error called as 2024 in already use. Because previously the server is already running. Now instead of, I need to either stop it, yes or no, right? Otherwise I need to restart it. So whenever you just want to run the project again, ensure that it is not already, the server is not started. Okay, now let me just stop the server and let me run again properly Spring Boot app. Ensure that there is a red, if the red button here, that 2024 is already in use. Okay, so it's already in use. So I can just tell you a simple trick how to check whether the server is running or not properly. So there is a one important option called as boot dashboard. So here the boot dashboard, so click on that. This boot dashboard contains all the Spring Boot projects only, right? So expand this, see Spring, if it is green color like this, up symbol 2024, this port number is already in use. Right click on this, stop. Now the server is stopped. So server is stopped. Now try to run this, run as Spring Boot app. Perfect. Now let me just stop this. I'll show you what will be exactly visible in the boot dashboard if the server is not started or not running. It will be gray out symbol like this. Otherwise you can run from here itself. Right click on this, restart. Automatically a Java file with Spring Boot application annotation will be executed from scratch. So this is how this is how we can just create the projects. And one more point is, like I just told one thing, that Spring Dev Tools, for example, you know the how you get to know like whether server is started or not, by using boot dashboard. Now see, like when I change here, for example, I just removed let me just remove like 3 exclamatory marks, for example. So you just need to save. Now automatically, without restarting the server, my project is getting executed. So that's the power of Spring Dev Tools. Without any restart, or like stop and start, you can directly apply the changes without restarting the server. One more point, I'm just going to enable autosave. So go to general, go to editor, auto save, enable it for one second. This feature something like you no need to save the file manually. Automatically all the files will be saved. But this feature must be enabled for every workspace. Okay. Apply close. Now let me just put one exclamatory mark. Automatically saved. I didn't use Control S. Now hi Spring Boot. Right. Now this is a one way. The other way people will use is like they will go to start.spring.io and they will just select all the options like here, like we already done in our Eclipse. They click on add dependencies. You can add dependencies by selecting everything from the list, right, and click on generate. A separate zip file will be downloaded which is demo, and come to Eclipse, go to file, import, go to Maven projects and import that. So that is the second way, but this is the best way because everything it is available in the Eclipse IDE only. You don't need to depend on any other external websites and all, because we install Eclipse Spring Tool Suite in the Eclipse IDE only. And third way is install Spring Tool Suite separately as an IDE. So this is this one. Linux available, Mac OS and Windows. So one zip file will be downloaded. Please extract that zip file, and one icon will be there, Spring Tool Suite icon. So separate ID will be there. So ID like Eclipse IDE, like Coded Studio, separate Spring IDE will be open. So these are the three main ways where people will use. So this anyway it is okay, either having a Spring Tool Suite in the Eclipse or having a separate IDE. Use any of these two ways, but opening I mean I've just shown you one kind of way, right? Start.spring.io, entering every value and downloading zip file, importing everything. It will take a lot of process time and all. So use either Spring Tool Suite integration in the Eclipse IDE, or you just separately download and install Spring Tool IDE. So with this we completed the session 1, where we just talked about what is Spring Boot exactly and what are the latest versions and what are the different ways we can create Spring Boot projects, and we just created a simple project called as Spring Hello World. Okay, so whenever you just add DevTools, there is a separate word will be added which is DevTools. And in the next session, which is topic 2, we'll discuss controller versus REST controller, and we'll see a second project called as Spring Boot REST controller project. And third topic will be, we'll just integrate the database by using RESTful web services. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Please like and share this YouTube channel. Thank you.